And then there was bass. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. This is your host, Young Dolemite of the Too Much Game Podcast. Sitting here with the super producer, Ben Ready.
Yes, sir.
How was your week, Ben Ready?
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Man, they got the same type of week my motherfucking ass had. It wasn't exactly, because it was expensive as a motherfucker, but
That shit was just,
man, nigga, my shit was because it was hot than a motherfucker. Nigga, I ain't had no AC in my house for a cool last minute. Like, nigga, it was burning up my shit.
Man, you out there in that baby desert.
Exactly, nigga. So I'm like, man, nigga, it's 100 degrees indoors. Like, it was a fucking tragedy up in that motherfucker. But I got my AC fixed. It was very expensive. Like, what's the homeboy from Doug Funny? Remember Doug when he called him, "Hey, Douglas"?
The TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, a cartoon, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, remember that shit on fucking Doug when that everything that nigga bought very expensive. I forgot homeboy name called Doug Douglas and shit.
Nigga, I'm blank on the Doug.
Yeah, nigga, that shit was very expensive. Nigga, air conditioning it's not cheap to be cool. But, you know, we got through it, nigga. Now we ice skating through the living room in my house, so it's a beautiful thing. But today's episode is entitled Yellow Brick Road. You know, all the hype and all this shit around the fucking Lion King movie. Just thinking about movies in general, like all the great movies that have ever been around, most of them, it's like a journey involved. Like The Wizard of Oz, which, you know, I don't really fuck with that one, but I fuck with The Wiz real heavy. You know, and it's always like in life, it's always motherfuckers talking about being goal oriented and, you know, goals this and, you know, the mission and how I'm trying to get this and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with the passing of the god Nipsey Hussle, the marathon continues. You know, this episode is basically saying, enjoy the marathon while you're running it. You know, it's not always about the medal that you get or your podium position or how much money you make, but enjoying yourself while you making the money. Enjoying yourself while you putting yourself in the position to make the money. Like, you know, like as an athlete, it's not always about the championship. Sometimes it's about the season. Because without the season that you had, there will be no championship. Without the career that you had, there will be no Hall of Fame. Like, you couldn't be the MVP without all the games that you had to play in order to become the MVP. And in order for you to become great, a lot of times you got to enjoy what you do that leads to you becoming great. Like as a athlete, like you got to find a way to enjoy practice. Like practice can't always be this grueling thing that you hate to do. Like even though sometimes training ain't always the fun shit, you got to find a way to enjoy that shit while you doing it. Because in any mission, what you do to get to your goal is always the testimony that you speak on when you reach your goal. Like, you know, we look at the careers of Michael Jordan and Dr. J and Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, Sean Kemp, whose jersey I'm wearing. And for the most part, when you look back at it, it's all the highlights and the statistics and everything that you built up to get the name that you got. You know, you just got to basically live in the moment. Like, enjoy the moments that you are creating on the way to the goal that you're trying to reach. A lot of times we lose sight of what's going on in the now because we too busy thinking about the future. Like, we too busy thinking about what we working towards to enjoy what we have. Like, you know, like me personally, I want to be a millionaire, but I got to enjoy being a thousandaire. A lot of times we like to reminisce on the times when we was single dollar-naires. Like, nigga, me and my homeboys always laugh. Like, it's a trip that right now we got a lot more money than we had back in the day. But we think about how much fun niggas had when we was broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nigga, being broke was fun as a motherfucker. Being broke is what led to the desire to have what we have now and what we plan to work toward getting. Like, just like with me, you, Jason, just back when niggas, you know, we had just 2 cents over lunch money. Like, niggas sitting there playing motherfucking 2K and Madden and just, you know, all we had was each other. Like, you know, just shit, nigga, me and the homies go get something to drink, something to eat, and kick it and play motherfucking video games all day. Like, and that shit is fun. Like, a lot of times when it comes to motherfuckers who on missions, like right now, we going hard with this podcast shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's just podcasting. But you got to find a way to enjoy what you doing, which is podcasting. Like me, I enjoy this shit. The reason I plan on going so hard and trying to become great at this shit is because it's a labor of love. Like, this shit is something that I enjoy doing. Even the times that's not me on the microphone. Like, I'm sitting here literally reading through a thesaurus. Like, I'll see a word that I use frequently, and I'm like, okay, I need to find a synonym for that because I keep using this same word in particular. And I'm reading through with the thesaurus, and I'll use all the words of the thesaurus in a sentence. It don't really sound like some shit that's fun. Like, it don't sound like some shit that a nigga like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do, nigga. I'm gonna go fucking read the thesaurus. It sounds like some dorky shit. But at the same time, thinking about how dope I'm gonna sound on the microphone on Sunday is like, psh, nigga, watch when I hit they ass with this shit. Like, fucking fortuitousness, the fucking episode. Like, some of the names of the episodes that I come up with. Mm-hmm. It ain't like I create the words. It's just like I'm looking through the thesaurus and I'm like, look at this shit. That's a long, weird-ass way to say good luck. Like, it's just shit that motherfuckers do when it comes to anything. Like, if you in college, like, you got to find a way to enjoy studying. It's not always fun to study. It's not always cool to study. Everybody don't want to study, but you know that that's what it's going to take for you to get the grade that you want. In order for you to get out of the class that you in order to reach your goal, to graduate, and to find a career later. Like, all of the times of you going through shit, like whether that be practicing in sports or working out to be in sports or working out to lose weight for the summer or fixing on a car that you building or just anything with life. Because, you know, a lot of times motherfuckers, they look past what they doing because they know that what they doing is leading up to something. But you got to enjoy what you doing leading up to something, you know, and not to get to morbid shit, but you might not live to reach the goal that you're working towards. Right. And you would hate to get cut down on the way to what you going towards, and you don't like, what was that movie? I think the movie was called North. It was like a kid who divorced his parents, and a lot of people was trying to basically campaign to adopt him, and he had like the dude who was kind of like his agent, or I don't know if he was like his guardian angel or what. I think it was what was the actor that was in Die Hard?
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis was like the dude who was kind of like the motherfucker who was always with North. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he was talking to North about just some bullshit. Like, they was just rambling. But he had basically said, like, you know, you got these people who spend all these days exercising to live longer. But what's the point of living long if you spent all those days exercising? It's like, that's a hell of a fucking bar, nigga. Like, that shit gave me perspective like a motherfucker. Because it's like, you know, you spend so much time working towards something. And it's like, if you don't enjoy that work that you're doing to reach what you get to, sometimes what you get to ain't what you thought it was. Like, I look at fucking, what's homie name? Robin Williams, who killed himself. Mm-hmm. Like, you spend all this time to be an actor, or just any of these millionaires who end up committing suicide or having, you know, depression or things of that nature. Like, they work so hard to become rich and famous. And then when they reach fame and wealth, it ain't all that. And it's like, my whole life's work was to become this big famous celebrity. And now I hate it. I can't go nowhere no more. I can't walk to the store like I used to. I can't go to Magic Mountain if I want to. I can't just go to my family's house without them niggas asking me for shit. Like, you got to enjoy all those days leading up to the fame. You know, you got to enjoy what you do to reach that shit. Like when you just, you know, working to be a millionaire or working to be an entrepreneur or working to do anything that is considered great shit or even regular shit, like home ownership. Like, you doing all this to buy your fucking house. Like, you got to enjoy what you doing to get the house. You got to enjoy what you doing while you in the house. Like, life in general. You just got to know how to enjoy where you at, not just where you're going. Because, you know, that's where a lot of people get tripped up in life. And I ain't even going to say tripped up. It's like the people who trip over the finish line. Like, you reach what you wanted to, and then you bust your ass because when it comes to certain shit, when you get to where you going, you realize you didn't even want that shit. You know, like a lot of, you know, celebrities say it all the time. Like, you know, being famous fucking sucks. But you've been busting your ass literally your whole life to get to this shit. The shit that you've been doing all this shit for, you find out ain't shit. It's like getting to heaven and finding Jesus smoking crack. Like, nigga, this is what the fuck I worked all these years for. Like, I did all this shit for this. Like, this is what fame is. Like, nigga, I can't trust none of my family members. Like, I can't go where I want to go. I can't do what I want to do, nigga. Like, I just want to chill and play Xbox. But I got all these fucking events I got to be at and things I got to do and all these fucking obligations and all this shit. Like, nigga, I hope you enjoyed the way up. Because like I tell niggas, man, I enjoy being broke just like I enjoy having money. Just like I will enjoy being rich or whatever comes with being the greatest podcaster. Like, nigga, when we reach the place that we supposed to reach, whenever that happens, I'm going to enjoy that shit just like I enjoyed podcasting from, you know, the original Townhouse Media Studio in the trap, sweating.
Facts.
Like, nigga, when we in that big air-conditioned building with the receptionist at the front and the security at outside, and you gotta fucking do your little parking thing and all that shit, like, nigga, it's gonna be the same shit because I enjoy what I'm doing. You know, at the end of the day, like I tell motherfuckers, life is all about results. You know, and that's true completely. Like, it's all about the end game. It's all about how many smiles you got on your face. Like, are you happy? Because, you know, when it comes to motherfuckers who try to use money as a measuring stick of who they are, yeah, that's cool, but it's rich people killing themselves. I judge motherfuckers by how happy they are. Like, honestly happy. Like, can you really look yourself in the mirror? Like, do you really wake up and say, yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enjoy. Like, me personally, like, when I wake up in the morning or at night or whatever the god-awful hour I wake up, because the way my schedule works, I never know when it's time to wake up. Even though I'm pissed, because I'm not a morning person. Like, I'm not the type of person that wakes up with a big-ass smile on my face. Like, I remember, like, when I used to work in warehouses and shit, like when I had a regular schedule and you be in the break room in the morning and there's some motherfuckers that's just too fucking happy to be up at 6 in the morning. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Ben, how was your day? Like, nigga, can I just enjoy my coffee? Could you get the fuck out of my face? Give me like 45 minutes and I'll sit there and bullshit with you right now. Like, I just ain't in the fucking mood. Like, that's how I wake up. I don't wake up happy. But when I do wake up, I always wake up optimistic. Like, even though my mood is fucked up, internally I'm happy. Because it's like, man, I'm finna make some money today. My bill's gonna get paid from what I'm doing today. What I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna do something constructive. And that's a good thing, because there's some motherfuckers who didn't wake up today. There's some niggas who didn't wake up this morning. There's some niggas who woke up this morning in a fucking body cast. There's some niggas who woke up this morning in the fucking hospital. There's some niggas who woke up this morning knowing that they just lost a loved one that's close to them. There's somebody who woke up this morning in a fucking box under the freeway bridge. Like, I always wake up happy. I might wake up in a fucked up mood, but there's a difference between happiness and the mood you in. Like, happiness is a state of being. Happiness is a state of mind. Your mood is what the fuck happens in the moment. Like, I could be pissed, but I'm still happy. Pissed is just how I feel. Like, you stepped on my fucking toe. I'm pissed. Fuck, you fucked my shoes up. But in the grand scheme of things, my kids are fed. My wife is happy. You know, my home is taken care of. Like, just find time to just think about happiness. Like, whenever you on a mission in anything, like, enjoy that shit. Enjoy the mission. Like, if you a fucking basketball player, enjoy practice. Cross a nigga over. Shoot a long jump shot. Like, do just, like, I always, just me personally, like, something that I always like to do and just give advice to motherfuckers as far as mental health. Always try to find one thing constructive to do every day and one thing fun to do every day. Like, your day can't be completely constructive shit. Like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta cut the grass. I gotta take the trash out. I gotta go to work. I gotta run these fucking errands. Like, nigga, you gonna have to find at least 10, 15 minutes of your day to, like, watch YouTube or watch some fucking porno or, like, something you enjoy, my nigga.
Yeah, because you'll start hating shit.
Exactly.
You'll go bitter as fuck.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like a lot of rich people kill themselves. Because they've spent so much time spending their whole day, whole month, whole year, whole life being constructive. And they never found time to just sit there and laugh at some shit. Like, they never found time to, like, just sit in front of the TV and eat some fucking ice cream or just bullshit around. Like, you know, call your friend. You know, like I always say, like, it's good to have hood rat friends. You don't want to spend your whole 24 with niggas who ain't shit. But it's always good to have a homeboy to talk to, and it ain't about stocks, bonds, real estate, goals, and constructive shit. Like, nigga, let's just talk about what was the dopest racing game on Nintendo 64, or what was the best first-person shooter on the first PlayStation. Like, nigga, let's just talk about some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing constructive. Like, who's your favorite fucking comedian? Like, you know, who's funnier, Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor? Just some regular bullshit. Like, you gotta find time to dump your mind of all the shit that winds you up. You know, you gotta find time to decompress. You always gotta find something that's like, okay, look, nigga, I'm gonna eat healthy for 6 days out of the week. But on Sunday, oh, nigga, I'm gonna get a pastrami chili cheese fry like a motherfucker. I'm gonna give me a fucking vanilla milkshake or whatever the fuck. You know, I'm gonna drink some motherfucking Hennessy that night and I'm gonna chill. Like, you gotta find that time because, you know, nigga, life's short. You know, goals are not always 100% attainable or attained. Like, sometimes you might not really reach what you thought you was going to reach, no matter how hard you worked for it. And another, you know, dynamic of this shit, like, sometimes you got to enjoy the little piece of, like, basically celebrate the small victories. You know, like, you might not win the championship. So you should celebrate beating the Clippers or beating the Bucks, even beating the goddamn Timberwolves. Like, every victory that you get in life, you got to celebrate that shit. You ain't got to fucking dance on every touchdown. Like, you know, you ain't got to throw a fucking party for yourself every day. But at the same time, like, you got to find time to enjoy shit, even if it's a small victory. You know, like, don't go too hard because with every, you know, life is about balance. It should always be, okay, I did good, I'm going to celebrate that. I didn't do good, I'm going to learn from that. But it should all be done in moderation. You know, like, there's some motherfuckers who over-celebrate small victories. Like, okay, you scored a touchdown, my nigga. You ain't got to run around the stadium. You ain't gotta, jump in the stands, kiss all the cheerleaders, and do all that shit. Nigga, just, do your little dance, because I believe in celebration, my nigga. Get your little dance on and move on. Keep on fucking firing. But, you also can't get too down on yourself when shit don't go your way. You can't be, nigga, we losing. Fuck this shit. Because that's how a lot of niggas end up quitting. They take losing too hard, In life, you can't never take yourself too serious in nothing. Because that's a lot of where people fuck up at. Like, they feel like if shit don't go right, it's doom and fucking gloom. Like, they can't take a loss, or they can't take criticism, or they can't take a motherfucker clowning. Because like I always try to keep it to where there's humor with me. Like, this show is super fucking like serious compared to Cat versus Dog that we record at 3 p.m. and shit. Like
3-ish.
Yeah, around 3, maybe 3:15, 3:25, 3:30. Like, this show 5-ish. This motherfucker started at 5:45, damn near 6 and shit. Like, but again, like, I don't take myself too serious. It ain't like if this motherfucker don't start at 5, I'm gonna say, well, fuck it, nigga, we ain't gonna record. It ain't like if I don't drop something, I'm gonna be like, fuck, God, look, no, nigga, we gonna laugh. Like, I could laugh at myself. You should be able to laugh at yourself. Because taking anything too serious is going to fuck you up mentally. And, like a lot of the conversation in social media and just the lexicon of culture is, what is it? What you call that shit? Mental health. Depression, anxiety, and shit like that. And a lot of that stems from taking shit too fucking serious. Like, back in the day, like on social media around the 2014, 15, 16, like when the Trayvon Martin incident and the Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, and all of that, like, it was a real fucked up time for the black community in general. Like, a lot of motherfuckers, they whole social media was Black Lives Matter and the police this and, the government don't care about us and the police is killing us and stop shooting us, hands up, don't shoot. Like, in the midst of all that, and I was real heavy on that. If you would look at my social media back in them days, it was a lot of that shit, but it was also funny memes. Because it's like, nigga, no matter what the fuck happening, you still got to find time to laugh. Like, you still got to find time to decompress. Get that bullshit out your mind, because it'll fucking consume you and it'll fuck you up. Like, you'll have permanent frown scars in your motherfucking forehead from frowning so motherfucking much. Like, how you could tell a nice old man from a mean old man by the wrinkles in their face. And a lot of times you could tell a lot about a person by just the look on their face or how they accept good news and bad news and how they act with money and without money and all types of shit. Like, I tell niggas, I'm the same nigga with money as I was when I was broke. That's why a lot of the same motherfuckers I was fucking with when I was broke still fuck with me. Motherfuckers ain't like, oh, Dolemite, nigga, you done changed. You a whole different nigga now. No, I'm just the same broke ass nigga. I just happen to have some money. Like, I still get down the same way. And, like I say, that's a lot of integrity. Like, I got a whole motherfucking episode about that shit. Like, I preach that shit like a motherfucker. Nigga, be the same nigga. Last, the episode before last. Keep that same fucking energy. Like, always be consistent. Always be who you are. And a big part of that is just enjoying shit. Just have fun. Find time to smile. Because, all this, I'm on my mission. I'm so focused. Yeah, motherfucker, be focused. But, nigga, also focus on happiness. Because at the end of the day, like I say, life is all about results. The result of all of that shit, even if you become a multi-fucking billionaire, what you should have been chasing in those billions was happiness. If those $1 billion didn't lead to your happiness, you fucking blew it. You fucking spent all that time and work and effort getting all that motherfucking money to not be happy. Like, nigga, let me become a motherfucking billionaire. Nigga, I'm buying motherfucking ice cream fucking buckets, and I'm gonna be sitting in front of my motherfucking 200-inch goddamn theater screen eating Rocky Road, nigga. Like, I'm gonna be doing all type of dumb shit if I get money. Like, I be telling motherfuckers, like, the reason I laugh at the white people who got all that money and shit, like when people try to compare black people and white people, and you know they favorite shit. Oh, fucking Bill Gates don't have no Gucci belts, and Steve Jobs don't have no fucking Bentley and no Maserati. That nigga drives a fucking Honda Accord. And I'm like, you got all those billions and you not enjoying it, my nigga? That's not fly to me. Like, nigga, that's the difference between black people and white people. We know how to have fun.
I think people like that, all their money go other places though. Like, if you're not into that, if you're not into flashy clothes from the beginning, you're not gonna start being into it while you rich.
True.
You know, like Zuckerberg. Like he still dresses the same.
He like ascots and Dockers, and
his t-shirts like $400 a piece. Even though he wear the same color t-shirts, he got a closet full of the same color t-shirts, but they $400 a piece.
Yeah.
So even though we see Bill Gates dressing down, it's not cheap. He didn't go to Target again.
He got $1,000 khakis on.
Right.
And that's part of the thing. Like I tell niggas, like, don't look at what another motherfucker doing and try to judge somebody because they do their shit differently. Like, as long as what I'm doing makes me happy, that's all that fucking matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm not saying to fuck your money up on shit. Because after you fuck your money up, that's going to affect your happiness. Because if you spend your rent money on some rims, now that you're homeless, you're not going to be happy anymore. Those rims ain't going to make you happier than having your rent paid is going to make you. Like, you having your priorities in order is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know your rent and bills is paid, the peace of mind that gives you is priceless. It's a beautiful thing. Like, even if you ain't got money to go to the club that weekend, it's like, shit, but at least my air conditioner running. At least my cable on. At least I can sit here and watch this goddamn TV show. At least I got a comfortable couch to sit on. You know, at least everything in my normal life is taken care of. So even though I can't do the extravagant shit that looks fun, I'm still cool with doing a little bit of bullshit that I could do in my normal life. And peace of mind is a magnificent thing to have. Peace of mind is just one of those things that, again, when it comes to your goals that you are chasing, don't lose peace of mind in order to achieve those goals. Because at the end of the day, peace of mind is more valuable than all the money that you can count. Because you could be a fucking billionaire and end up killing yourself if you lose peace of mind. Peace of mind, like, if you don't have peace of mind, like, that shit will literally drive you crazy. Like, this motherfuckers jumping out of windows on Wall Street and they still millionaires. Mm-hmm. But something shook they fucking mental so bad that they decided to kill themselves. Like, life just wasn't worth living no more.
A lot of people is ready for the money, but not the famous part. Like, you have Eminem, for example. Like, he chose to live and still stay in Detroit because no paparazzi goes out there. It's so bad out there. Like, paparazzi ain't gonna go out there.
Yeah.
So he chooses to stay out there. You know, it's just if you're not a people's person, you reach this level, you have to go somewhere secluded.
Like Dave Chappelle.
There you have it.
Nigga live in Ohio.
There you have it.
Yeah, and it's like, again, you know, and he said, you know, because Dave Chappelle is another motherfucker who I look up to a lot. Like, I respect his philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, he was saying, like, you know, name your price when it came to him becoming a comedian. Like, when he turned down that $50 million. It's like, yeah, 50 million, cool, but at the price of my peace of mind, I'm not cool with that. If I gotta sacrifice what I believe in, I'm not cool with that. That's not enough money. Like, you can't purchase a nigga's peace of mind. Peace of mind is priceless. So at anything in your life, if you honestly, you know, you gotta look at shit like that. Like, anything that you're doing, like, is this worth my peace of mind?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I used to go into jobs if I gotta work weekends at the time, nah. Because my peace of mind is at its peak on Saturday and Sunday. Like, that's the time when I would sit and play video games or meet with my friends or go play basketball or just do things that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. So if I got to work weekends, no, I'm not going to work here. I don't give a fuck how much you motherfuckers paying. Because weekends is my peace of mind time. That's my me time. If you're going to try to make me sacrifice my me time, fuck you. Nowadays, I'm older and I'm living for my family. So I got a different perspective when it comes to my peace of mind. Now my peace of mind is attached to the happiness of my family. My peace of mind is attached to, is my wife straight? Are my kids straight? So now I could work weekends because if I got to get this extra money so my daughter could do dance or my son could play sports or my wife could go keep her nails and hair done or enjoy time with her friends or decorate the house or do anything like that, then I'm going to have to sacrifice the me time for their time. Mm-hmm. You know, my happiness is predicated on my family's happiness. So what the fuck makes me happy is seeing them happy. So I got to sacrifice them weekends. There's times that I want to be, you know, on my shit, having my personal time and just dilly-dallying on what the fuck I want to do. But in order for them to be happy, I got to sacrifice that. And that's a small fucking drop in the bucket to the happiness that I get of seeing my family straight. And a lot of times, like with this yellow brick road, you know, with this motherfucking marathon that we running, like you got to be able to enjoy the run because the finish line only lasts but so long. But that fucking marathon lasts your whole life pretty much. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of motherfuckers, you work 20, 30 years to become a fucking millionaire. You work 30, 40 fucking years to become a billionaire. Like, it's an 82 game season until you win that championship. Nigga, that fucking parade is only like 4 hours. That you only celebrate that championship for 2-3 weeks. How long is a season? Damn near 6 months. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you got to think about shit like that. From November to June. So that's 8 months. Mm-hmm. The better part of a year you spend earning that championship. You only celebrate that championship but a small amount of time. So you got to enjoy that big amount of time more than you enjoy what you're aiming for. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't enjoy that long ass amount of time, that little bit of time that little bit of celebration ain't gonna be shit. And a lot of motherfuckers miss that. You know, a lot of motherfuckers be so busy, you know, being a fucking worker bee. Like, they so fucking busy on that fucking rat race, on that little hamster wheel, that they not really realizing that if you didn't enjoy that time, nigga, when you get to your goal, you gonna turn around and be like, God damn, I spent 40 years trying to get this shit. And now that I got it, it ain't even shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you missed out on all the parties and you missed out on all the shit that you wanted to do in order to reach some shit that when you reached it, you wasn't even all that fucking impressed. Like, you know, it's you got to ask niggas sometimes, like, do you really think it's going to be worth it? Do you really think that's going to be worth 20 years of sacrifice? Like the reverse of it, the criminal world. You go rob a bank. Is that, say, 30,000 worth the 20 years that you risking? Like, you gonna do a dub for that 30 bands. And it's cool if you get that 30 bands and you get away with it. Yeah, that's fly. Cause now you out here flossing, you spending your 30, and that's cool. You get you a little whip off the lot, little Rolex chain, you know, you go spend some money having fun, get you some bitches and all that shit. But is it worth that 30 though?
That's $1,500 a year.
$1,500 a year.
That 30 break and 20. If they go to jail for 20 years, that 30 break down to $1,500 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
which
you could have did
at Jack
begging.
Jack in the Box.
Nigga, $1,500 a year? Nigga, you could have did that begging in front of Jack in the Box. Not even as a fucking employee. Nigga, you could have got that asking for quarters. Because, nigga, you can make $1,500 in 2 weeks at Jack in the Box, nigga.
Oh, shit.
So, nigga, you could have literally made that begging. Nigga, you could have made that just out of money that falls into your couch over the course of a year, nigga. $1,500? So again, nigga, like, is it really worth that? You know, and that's how I look at the legal life. You know, is that $1 million worth sacrificing 30 years of your life in a career that you hate? You know, because it's a lot of motherfuckers that's in a career path that they can't fucking stand. Like, you go to work and you work 8 hours, a third of your day. And nowadays, people working, 12, 13, 14 hours a day. Like, if you hate 14 hours of your day, that's the majority of your day.
Mm-hmm.
You hate half your life. Like a lot of times, nigga, you got to look at it like, is the bag really that important? Because everybody talking about chasing the fucking bag. Everybody, the money over everything. Are you sure? Because I'm not putting money over happiness. I'm picking a smile over money every single time. Like, I'm picking peace of mind over money every single time. Like, a lot of motherfuckers, you got to look at the value of peace of mind. Peace of mind is honestly probably the most valuable thing on the fucking planet. And a lot of motherfuckers don't get that shit. That's where a lot of people lose in life. Because they looking at, oh, if I get a fucking boat, oh, if I get a mansion, if I get a phantom, if I get a wraith, if I get this, if I get that. And then you look back and you like, now that I have a phantom, my next door neighbor has one. The nigga across the street got one. I got a mansion, but so do all these other motherfuckers that live around me. Because some niggas, they only really want to get rich so they could be richer than all the niggas that they know. And a lot of times when you get in the position like that, you get around a bunch of niggas that's richer than you any fucking way.
Facts.
Like, that's when you got to look at what's really important in life. Because no matter how much money you got, unless you Jeff Bezos or the fucking Bilderbergs or the goddamn, those families that the Illuminati niggas talk about, the Rothschilds and shit. Like, unless you're them, there's always going to be a nigga that got more money than you. So you can't rest your happiness on the amount of money that you got. Because there's always going to be somebody with more money than you. When you think about accolades like sports or acting or things like that, there's always going to be somebody that's beyond you in shit. And even if you at the top, okay, congratulations, that's cool. But it's about peace of mind. Like, if you don't have peace of mind with all that shit, you going to be fucking miserable, nigga, no matter how you slice it. And misery is some bullshit. Misery makes motherfuckers kill themselves. Like, when it comes to, like, Robin Williams. Because that's my lifetime, to me personally, like, that's the big suicide that's happened in my life that I could think of. Besides, like, Kurt Cobain. But I was little when that happened.
Yeah.
But, like, when Robin Williams killed himself, like, that shit gave me, like, a big philosophical epiphany. Because, like I always say on this show, like, I look at shit that happens and I always just try to take the lesson out of it. So when Robin Williams died, I'm just like, damn, this nigga was a fucking millionaire. Like, this nigga was a gifted actor, a successful comedian. Everybody seemed to like him. And this motherfucker ended up killing himself. Like, what the fuck could have been happening in this motherfucker's life to make him kill himself? Because you got to think life is amazing for a motherfucker who does supposedly what they love.
Mm-hmm.
Making people laugh, acting, you in movies. Everybody who see you has a pretty good word to say about you. He didn't really have paparazzi fucking with him. He didn't really have no whole bunch of scandals and no crazy shit like that. Like, there was no implication of a drug problem or nothing. And this motherfucker just ended up killing himself. Like, I be thinking about shit like that. Like, honestly, when the shit happened, like, I really sat like, damn, what could make a motherfucker at the top of the world jump off? Like, peace of mind. I don't really know what the fuck he was going through. And again, it's like Jim Carrey. You know, if you hear a lot of what Jim Carrey is saying right now, like, he don't sound unhappy, but he's sounding like he just got a lot on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a bad way, but just like, this motherfucker is that woke that's like, wow, nigga. Like, he be saying some super deep shit. Like, in, you know, it's I call it the burden of information. Like how they say, what's that shit? Ignorance is bliss. He's the opposite. Like, the more you know, the less happy you are a lot of times. Like, sometimes you just don't want to know. And that's why I talk about the value of decompression. Like, the value of just sitting there and not thinking. Just chilling. Taking time to eat some food that ain't good for you. Or watch some bullshit ass TV. Like, sit there and watch Love and Hip Hop or a stupid ass comedy movie. Like, you know, just watch some fucking Kevin Hart special or some shit. Some shit that ain't feeding your brain, nigga. Just veg out for a minute. Play Madden for an hour. Go play Grand Theft Auto, Tetris or some shit. You know, because you got to find time to let your mind, you know, just, I don't know, vegetate, nigga.
Just reset.
Exactly, nigga. Do a factory reset, nigga. Just dump out. Like, just sit there and watch some bullshit on TV or whatever you enjoy. Like, some niggas fish. Some niggas play golf. You know, just something to take your mind off shit. Because even when you look at the richest of the richest people, they all have like a routine of some shit like that. Like, what's his name? The stock dude. Second richest motherfucker on the planet.
Buffett?
Yeah, Warren Buffett. He eats McDonald's. You know, like,
and drive an old school Cadillac.
Yeah. Bill Gates, he has a think week where he just goes off into the middle of nowhere, read books, and just sit there and think. Like, when you look at rich people, they all have their little thing that they do. Like, you know, I just go bullshit and, you know, watch fucking Tom and Jerry for 2 hours or some shit. Like, all successful people have things that they do to get their mind off of what they do to become successful. You know, and I look at the ultimate success in life as having peace of mind. You know, a lot of motherfuckers, when they looking to reach something, they throw peace of mind into the wind. And that's a fucking fatal, literally fatal mistake. Because you can do all this shit to reach what you're trying to get to and realize that what that is ain't all that it was cracked up to be. And the real lesson that you were supposed to learn in life was to enjoy the journey. Like, enjoy what you were doing to get to where you was trying to get. You know, like, I talk a lot, or I use a lot of sports references and metaphors and analogies and shit. Like, enjoy the season, because winning that championship, the parade is only a short amount of time. Holding that trophy is only a short amount of time. The fucking off season is only a short amount of time. And then it's time to go get back into the fucking swing of shit and try to win another championship. You know, you got to enjoy that 82 games, because the championship is only but so long. You know, when you running a marathon, nigga, the marathon is, say, 38 miles. Nigga, the finish line is only 6 inches wide. Once you cross that motherfucker, you gonna throw your hands in the air and they gonna pour champagne on you and you gonna get your check and all of that shit. Then it's on to the next fucking marathon. But think about how long you trained for that shit. Think about how long it took you to run that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, that little bit of celebration was only a short amount of time. Like, you got to find a way to enjoy that long shit. Nigga, you got to enjoy the whole time leading up to that shit. Or that trophy ain't even going to be shit. You know, that's where you see a motherfucker who has all types of money and things like that. And you like, this nigga don't even look happy. Because they're not enjoying what they're doing in order to get to that point. A lot of motherfuckers don't like what they did to get to that point. You know, like you see a lot of motherfuckers that got a lot of money, and you know, like they say, if you can't look yourself in the mirror for what you did to get something, it makes it not worth having. You know, like I always pride myself on being able to look myself in the mirror. Because I love what I do. Like, I take less money to do what I enjoy doing. And a lot of motherfuckers don't do that. Like, they so driven by money, they don't realize that you literally hate a third of your life in order to get something that a lot of times, like, say, for instance, you got a job to take you, say, you working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. That is what 6 12s is 72 hours and shit. Like 72 hours, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, you working most of your week. How much time do you really have to spend that money? Like
a few hours, because you're gonna, once you're done with them 6, you're gonna be trying to sleep on that 7th day.
Exactly. And that, like, nigga, that's a lot of times, like, my work week, I work a lot of hours. So then when it's time to, you know, okay, I got a day off. Nigga, I'm so fucking tired from all them hours I worked. Nigga, I'm sleeping on fucking whatever that extra day is, nigga. Fuck the bullshit. I'm bushed. Especially because now I podcast. I drive an hour to get here. I drive an hour to get back home. And a lot of times, nigga, I come from work, drive out here, podcast, drive home, and go right back to work. Like, nigga, I'm going hard for this shit. But the difference between me and a lot of motherfuckers that's on this type of grind that I'm on, which is work, mm-hmm. I enjoy the work. Like, what I'm doing to get where I'm going, I love this shit. So I'm not going to regret this shit. Like, I'm not going to look back and be like, nigga, I did all that fucking work. Nigga, I worked all those fucking hours. Nigga, I drove all those miles for nothing. No, nigga, I'm gonna be like, nigga, I enjoyed the whole shit. So even if this shit don't go nowhere, I'm not gonna be mad because, number one, I gave it my all. And number two, I enjoyed it the whole fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the ultimate shit. Like, no, like Shaquille O'Neal. Like, they would always say, like, oh, Shaq probably would have won 7 championships if he took basketball serious. If he worked harder, he'd have been so much greater. He'd have been so much better. And Shaq's reply is, yeah, but I had more fun than 99% of you niggas who was better than me. If I wasn't really better than you, I had more fun than 100% of you niggas. And, you know, again, perspective. Like, I look up to that. I admire that. Because, yeah, nigga, I was still great and I had fun. Nigga, if you look at all the off the court Shaq, this nigga dancing, laughing, cracking jokes, doing pranks on niggas. Shaq was always having fun. They like, yeah, nigga, I probably could have been in the gym working harder. I probably could have spent more hours doing the weights and running and doing calisthenics and shit. But Shaq found time to enjoy himself.
And still was the most dominant player.
Exactly. You know, so like it's a who do you want to be? Like, you want to be Kobe or you want to be Shaq? Because Kobe I look at as like the opposite side of the spectrum. You know, like, this motherfucker was so focused, so fucking driven. Like, you never see this nigga with a smile on his face. Like, nigga, how often would you see Kobe like laughing hard? or smiling.
He was still young. After that case, everything changed.
True. But still, nigga, like when he came into the league, he was doing rap songs and shit.
Yeah.
But when that nigga really started taking basketball serious, like you never really seen this nigga smiling. You know. And I'm not going to say that it was because he disliked what he did, because he loved basketball. But at the same time, like when you look at motherfuckers that's so focused and driven, it's like you got to be like, hey, nigga, you know, chill out. Find time to smile. Find time to be happy. Because you don't want to look back 30, 40 years into the future, and then you looking back at your life and you like, my life sucked. Like, you don't want to become Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ebenezer Scrooge had all that money. He was bah humbug. Fuck all this shit. Like, nigga, I look at motherfuckers like, nigga, you supposed to be the happiest nigga in the room when you got all the money. But a lot of motherfuckers that got a lot of money don't be fucking happy. And it's because they didn't love what they did to get all that money. A lot of motherfuckers in a lot of fields, even if they don't have a lot of money, they just, you know, like the motherfuckers who graduate college, but they in a field that their mom wanted them to go into. Like, nigga, I ain't even want to be a fucking doctor, nigga. I wanted to be a fucking painter. Nigga, I ain't even want to be a fucking lawyer, nigga. I wanted to be a fucking rapper. Like, you gotta sometimes, nigga, sacrifice that big bag for the bag that makes you happy. Just like looking at, like, Charlie Ward. You remember Charlie Ward?
Mm-hmm.
Point guard for the Knicks. Yeah. Nigga won a Heisman Trophy and chose basketball. Nigga, he liked basketball more. He probably would have made a lot more money in football. Probably would have had a much bigger, better, greater career.
Mm-hmm.
But if football not would make you happy, nigga, what's the fucking point? Like, you know, what is it to gain the world and lose your soul? Like, that's what I look at this whole shit as. Like, the price of all of these riches and fame, just like when people say rappers sold they soul. Oh, you sold your soul, you sold your soul. I don't look at that as a nigga walking up to the red devil with fucking horns and a sickle or whatever the fuck he got and all that shit and being like, hey, devil, here's my soul. No, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as a nigga compromising everything that he stands for money. That's what I look at as selling your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything that you stood for as a man, you was willing to compromise all that shit for some money. And like I tell niggas, money ain't shit. Like, you get a lot of perspective from people who have a lot of money. A lot of motherfuckers who got a lot of money become philosophers. Like, you ever notice all the quotes you see on the internet are from rich people? Mm-hmm. Because when you get the money, that's when you understand money more. It's hard to understand money when you ain't got it, because your only thought process is to get some. But after you get it, you realize what it actually is. And it ain't really shit. Because I remember around 2002, 2003, I used to sell Amway, which became Quick Star. It's like you get a little catalog and you sell the shit to people.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get like the monthly subscription and shit. And you know, pyramid scheme type shit. Like, right, you get two niggas under you and they get two niggas under them. So my upline, which was the dude who got me in, you know, and I learned a lot of shit in that Quick Start shit. A lot of those pyramid schemes, you know, again, it's a rich nigga at the front of the room talking to y'all about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of good, you know, philosophical points about that shit. Like, niggas telling me, like, basically perspective. Like, my upline, he asked me, what do you want in life? Like, what do you want to have in, say, 10 years? And I was like, shit, nigga, you know, at the time, I'm broke as fuck. I got to be broke to be trying to sell fucking Quick Start, nigga. I sold Kirby vacuums and all type of shit. But anyway, nigga, I was like, shit, I want money. He was like, okay, the fuck is money? I was like, the fuck you mean, what is money? Nigga, green paper, motherfucker. Like, I want the shit that buys things. He said, okay, what things do you want? He said, because money ain't shit. He was like, all right, like, you know, and he put it to me like this. Okay, look, I'm going to give you $50 million right now, but you can't spend it. I was like, the fuck you mean I can't spend it? He said, you said you want money, right? I was like, yeah, nigga. He said, okay, So here's $50 million, but you can't buy shit. You got money, right? You got a lot of money. And I was like, all right, I get it now. You know, money ain't shit. Money is just what you exchange for the things that you really want. Mm-hmm. So you don't want money. Everybody think they want money. You don't want money. Like, you want what money brings you. And again, what I found out that I want from what money brings me is peace of mind. It's happiness. Money don't buy happiness. You need a minimal amount of money. But what brings you happiness is up to you to find. But money ain't what the fuck it is. So a lot of times when you making all these sacrifices and spending all these hours and doing all this work, all this sweat equity and all of this fucking time and all of this shit, you got to find happiness in that. Because the money ain't going to bring you that. What you get at the end of all that, a lot of times, ain't going to give you that. That trophy ain't going to give you that. That money ain't going to give you that. That bitch ain't going to give you that. Pussy. Whatever the fuck you doing all this work to get, a lot of times, that's not going to bring you happiness. What brings you happiness is what you do and the time spent on the way to that goal. So your goal in life should be happiness. What's at the end of the fucking yellow brick road should be happiness. What's at the end of the yellow brick road should have been found on the yellow brick road on the way to Oz. Because you see, when they met the wizard, this nigga wasn't shit. You know, you did all this shit. Y'all niggas fought the witches and the fucking whatever those fucking flying monkeys and all types of shit. All to find out that the wizard was just some punk ass motherfucker. You know, but the whole movie was the journey. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what life is about. Life is about the journey. Like, it was about the friendship that these motherfuckers built. It was about the facing the fears. Nigga, you got the heart. Nigga, you had the heart the whole fucking time. You had the motherfucking brains the whole motherfucking time. Like, all of this shit that you went through, you had that shit the whole fucking time. You know, and that's what life is about. You find that shit on the yellow brick road. Fuck Oz. You know, you got to get that shit while you on your fucking mission. The marathon fucking continues. It didn't say finish line. The marathon is motherfucking continue. And nigga, you got to enjoy the motherfucking marathon while you running. Or you gonna hate the finish line. You gonna, again, trip over the finish line and bust your motherfucking ass. Because once you realize what's over that finish line, it's like, damn, nigga, if I hated the marathon, the finish line ain't shit. You know, so when it comes to life, you know, I guess I gotta say it, even though I didn't write it. You know, the fucking practical wisdom, nigga. Enjoy the journey. Because the finish line only lasts but so long. But the journey, a lot of times, is much longer than what you have at the end of said journey, which is your goal, your purpose, or whatever that may be. Whether that be a championship, accommodation, a raise, you know, a career, a certain amount of money, you know, getting in a relationship with a certain person. Because, you know, sometimes motherfuckers go hard to get with a person. You know, nigga, you done changed your whole little shit up. Nigga, you done changed the way you dress. You know, went and got you this and got you that just to get with a particular woman. Find out this bitch don't even like you like that. You know, you find out her feet stink. Coochie stink. She don't even bathe every day. Like, you done did all this shit for something and find out that it wasn't much. You know, so whatever you doing for something, enjoy what you doing just as much as you enjoy what you going for. Because you're going to spend a lot more time working than spending. So enjoy your work. Find time to be productive, be constructive, but also find time to just be happy. Because at the end of the day, life is about results. And the ultimate result in life is peace of mind and happiness. So always choose happiness. And I'm going to drop the mic on that shit. This has been your host, Young Dolemite of the Too Much Game podcast. Sitting here with the super producer, Ben Ready.
Yes, sir. On time this week.
On time like a motherfucker, nigga. Show late as shit. But the super producer is on time. God damn it. Shit. We'll be back at you motherfuckers. Same bad time, same bad channel. If you want to support us financially, it is patreon.com/Townhouse Media. Town E House Media. Check out all the Townhouse Media podcasts. Seriously Not Another Podcast. Friday nights, 9 o'clock. No Rules. Wednesday evenings, 5-ish, around there. Cat versus Dog. Sundays, round 3, a little after that. And Too Much Game. Round 5. Sometimes after. Sometimes way after. Because today, 5:45. I was late than a motherfucker. But the game is always on time. The game don't wait for nobody. But anyway, I'll holler at you motherfuckers later, man. I ain't here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too Much Game.